Hey guys, this is Junior Joker HD, and today I'll be bringing you a top 5 sort of episode, which is going to be top 5 guns in Call of Duty Black Ops 2 multiplayer. This episode is going to be in my new series of top 5s on games such as FIFA and Call of Duty. Let's jump straight into it. So at number 5 in the top 5 guns and classes, we have today the Remington, or the R870 MCS. With the Remington, I like to have long bars and attachment, as it increases the damage and the range. In secondary, I like to have the B23R, as I think it adds a little bit of a range to it, and I think of it as the M16 of the pistol world. Wild cards, I usually have perk 1 greed, so I can have flak jacket and lightweight on, as I believe of this sort of class to be a rushing objective class for getting hard points and things like that. Perk 2 I have toughness, and perk 3 I have dexterity for climbing into buildings and that such. And lethal, I like to have C4, and tactical, last but not least, is flashbang for the long range sort of running up to people. That is it for the first gun. This has been the number 5, and now comes the highlights for this gun. So as you can see, the Remington is a very powerful gun, and the V23R is also a nice pair for this gun, as it gives it some range. It's allowed to sort of act as an assault rifle, as the shotgun is fairly long range, not too long of a range. And as you can see here, just can't spawn camping for some reason. But that's a very good way to use this gun, is to spawn camp most of the times. And later on in this gameplay, you'll see me get a 6-man, which is very good. I mean, it's quite easy to get 6-man kills, like kill feeds, using this gun, as you have 8 bullets in the clip, and it shoots very rapidly. As you saw there, it took me 7 bullets to kill all 6 men. In number 4, we have the Peacekeeper, which comes with the first DLC, if you could remember that far back. It was only 2 DLCs ago, people. But anyway, with the Peacekeeper, I like to use the attachment suppressor and quick draw handle, as I believe you need a bit of stealth with this assault / submachine gun. That's why it came forth, as well as I think it's a great gun, but it lacks the power that other guns later on have. I like to have the Execution as well for short combat sort of situations with no attachment. Perk 1 greed again, so I can have lightweight and ghost, and those are quite good, so you can run around with the submachine gun mobility that the Peacekeeper has, and ghost for sneaking up on people. Toughness again, one of my favourite perks, as it just lets you take bullets really and not get too phased out. And then I have dexterity as well. I like to have C4 with in my lethal section, and no tacticals, as I don't believe you need it really. Yeah, so that's it for the Peacekeeper at number 4. So as you can see, straight off the bat, the Peacekeeper and the Execution are a very good match. This is because basically the Peacekeeper deals with long range fairly well, and also slightly short range. I wouldn't get too excited with the short range on this gun, but the Executioner finishes off your opponents with its one-on-one abilities and things like that, and it packs the punch in the gun, in the class on a whole. I wouldn't say the Execution is that great of a gun, but it suits up very well with the other Peacekeeper. The Peacekeeper and the Executioner are very good with running with, and as you can see here, I finish off the game by collecting the dog tags to win. At number 3 in the guns and classes top 5, we have the PDW. It's in here at number 3 because it's very overpowered, but I still don't think it's the best gun, as with this gun I would like to use fast mag and also suppressor for stealthy sort of situations. Perk 1 greed again, one of my favourite wild cards. Lightweight and flak jacket, as it's a very rush guns, again gun hose sort of gun. Toughness, dexterity, C4, flashbang, so sort of like getting into the hard point. They're very objective sort of classes with the submachine guns, and that is it for number 3 with the PDW 57. So the PDW, as you can see, doesn't really need a like a partner gun, like a secondary, as it's a very powerful gun as it is, and the standout feature of this gun is its 50 rounds in its clip, as it allows you just to play its way, man. I mean, I can't explain to you how much fun it is, and that's why it deserves the top 3. And I mean, a lot of people agree with that decision. Some people think it should be higher, some people think it should be lower, but that's the position I give it in, and the attachments go very well with it, with the silencer and making it a very silent weapon. And all in all, yeah, it definitely, in my eyes, deserves the top 3. To be in the top 3 at least, anyway. And it is a great gun all around, and the perks really help it. It doesn't really need much assistance. It's very good for getting quad kills, things like that. It's very good at rushing. The perks allow it to rush, and it's just, and the ammo swap, the fast reload, whatever attachment that's called, just helps it even more. So that's the PDW in 3rd place. In at number 2 on the runner-up spot, we have the Scar H, which is basically a light machine gun in an assault rifle, to sum it up really, and that's why it deserves to be in the number 2 spot. With the Scar H, I like to use quick draw handle and suppressor as the attachments, and the secondary, I like to use RPG, just because you're normally going to be camping with this weapon, sort of like a campy sort of weapon, and it's kind of rush. It depends how you use it, and RPG is good for blowing up spots that are crowded with enemies. For this one, I have perk 2 Greed, and in perk 1 I have lightweight. Perk 2, the 2 perks I have are toughness and scavenger, get ammo for the RPG and when camping. And perk 3 I have dexterity for jumping around, and then lethal I have claymore for camping really, as I think this is a camping purpose gun, like watching over a hard point or headquarters, something like that. So this is what the class is purposely for, and I think it's a very good class. And at number 2, this is the Scar H. Here are the highlights for the second best gun on my list of guns and classes. Sorry, the second best class as well, which is the Scar H. So here's the highlights of the Scar H. As you can see, the Scar H is a very good gun for long range. As I said before, it's basically an LMG in an assault rifle, so you get the running around ability for the assault rifle, but the accuracy and power of the LMG, which is amazing, and that's why it is my number 2 spot. I think it's deserved to be there, if I'm honest. And with the attachments as well, it's an even better gun. The RPG, as you can see just now, with the shots that it takes, blows up objectives just like this. For example, demolition, stops the bombs being planted, allows to run around, and as you can see here, just example of spawn camping, if that's what you're into, or spawn trapping, whatever you want to call it. Could put a tactical surgeon on this class, make it even better, but that is the Scar H, a brilliant assault rifle and light machine gun in one. In the number 1 spot, the gun that I thought most deserved the number 1 spot was the MSMC, as it's been very consistent through the whole Call of Duty Black Ops 2 like timeline. It's always been one of my favourite guns. It's had its downs, but it's had its highs as well, and I could never fault it really. And in the number 1 spot, as I said, it's the MSMC. It has to be. And with the attachments, I have the suppressor and fast mag. It's also my favourite class, just to add. Secondary, I don't need a secondary because it's such a beast gun. And then we have perk 1 Greed, and we have lightweight flat jacket for the rushing needs. And another reason I like MSMC is because it's also very assault rifle and orientated, and it's very powerful and it's good at rushing at the same time. So it's a very all-round gun, all-round purpose. In perk 2 I have toughness, and perk 3 I have extreme conditioning, because I don't think you really need dexterity. You just demolish your opponents as they're looking at you anyway. You don't really need to get away that quick, but it's just good for rushing, and you want to be the first person to get places, and that's why I've got lightweight and extreme conditioning. In the lethal I have C4 and flashbang as the tactical for any of those nitty-gritty places, or sort of rough and tumbles you get into. And so in number 1 spot we have the MSMC, which I think is the most deserved, and this is my favourite class of all time in Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Hope you enjoyed the gun parts, and here comes the final highlight of the number 1 gun. So here's what we've been waiting for, the highlights for the MSMC, which is in the number 1 spot on my list of top 5 guns and classes in Call of Duty Black Ops 2 multiplayer. The reason I put this at first is because I believe this has been the most consistent gun for me personally and other people that I played with all the way through Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Low range, short range, high range, whatever, doesn't matter, kills everything. The only problem I have with it is that the low clip at 30, which is still decent, you can get around that with the fast mag that I have in the attachments. Silencer also helps with silence, and that is why MSMC deserves first place. This has been Junior Joker HD. I hope you enjoyed the top 5 guns and classes in Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Please like, comment, favourite and subscribe. Again, this has been Junior Joker HD, and I hope you've enjoyed. Goodbye.